Same appearance for the prosecution. We are ready for the presentation of our next witness, Your Honor.
Appearances for the respondent.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Same appearance for the defense.
May we know who on the part of the counsel, who among the panel of prosecutors or counsel from the panel of prosecutors will be presenting the witness?
This representation, Your Honor, will be presenting the next witness.
May I know likewise on the part of the counsel for respondents who will be standing on the other side? Will it be you, Attorney Villanueva?
That's correct, Your Honor.
You may proceed, lead prosecutor, call your first witness.
Your Honors, we are calling to the witness stand our next witness, the last witness for Article 4 threat, Attorney Melvin Matibag, the NBI Director.
Kindly remain standing, Director Matibag. The clerk will kindly administer the oath to the witness. Kindly turn on the mic of the clerk of court.
You, Melvin A. Matibag, do swear that the evidence you shall give in the case now pending between the Philippines and Vice President Cyrus Zimmerman Duterte shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Yes, sir.
Kindly sit down, Director Matibag.
May we
Before
proceed?
the lead prosecutor proceeds with their direct examination, the chair would like to address the witness regarding certain matters. Director Matibag, the chair would like to remind and admonish you on behalf of the impeachment court to kindly avoid statements pertaining to individual members of this impeachment court. Without prejudice to any investigation you're undertaking, you may do so, but without need of issuing statements that may impinge upon the independence and or integrity of the court or the individual senator judges. And for this reason, for your information as well, Attorney Director Matibag, the statements made by Senators Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano and Senator Judge Pia Cayetano last July 15 pertaining to statements made by you and the video presented in the impeachment court shall be referred to the Senate as a legislative body and referred to the appropriate committee, specifically the Rules Committee, for its proper disposition and for the matter to be taken up thereat, and not in this impeachment court. I hope you will hear and understand, Director Matibag, the
Yes, sir.
reminder and the admonition of the chair.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Director Matibag. Lead prosecutor, the Honorable Luistro, you may proceed with your direct examination.
Your Honor, we are offering the testimony of witness NBI Director, Attorney Melvin Matibag, to prove the following. 1. Siya ang kasalukuyang direktor ng National Bureau of Investigation. 2. Matapos siyang italaga bilang direktor, may binuo siyang special task force para magsagawa ng investigasyon sa patuloy na mga pagbabanta sa buhay ng Pangulo. 3. May karagdagang investigasyon na isinagawa ang special task force hinggil sa mga pagbabantang ginawa sa buhay ng Pangulo kasama ang pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente. 4. Ang pagbanta sa buhay ng Pangulo ay hindi lamang pagbanta sa kanyang buhay, kundi pagbanta sa pambansang seguridad. 5. Ang mga natuklasan at naging resulta ng Special Task Force mula sa karagdagang investigasyon. 6. Kilalanin at patunayan ang mga dokumento kaugnay ng nasabing investigasyon ng NBI. 7. Ang iba pang mga bagay na may kaugnayan at mahalaga sa nagaganap na impeachment trial ng Vice Presidente.
Comments, Your Honor.
Then,
Your Honor, as to the first purpose, we are willing to stipulate, Your Honor, that Attorney Matibag is the current NBI Director. In the interest of expediting the proceedings, no need to propound questions on that. Number 2, as to the task force, Your Honor, we would have to object thereto on the basis of them being irrelevant. Your Honor, would just like to manifest for the record that such task force, Your Honor, was not part of the articles of impeachment as well as the impeachment complaint. There was no mention thereof, and this is tantamount to a new information. So, Your Honor, we just like to manifest for the record that the articles of impeachment is akin to a information that is filed in court, and the trials already started, and the prosecution cannot modify such information or articles of impeachment. For such will be a violation of our client's right to due process, particularly her right to be promptly and fully apprised of the exact charge against her. So any new information is irrelevant. Number 3, same objection, Your Honor, because the good counsel mentioned karagdagang investigation. So it pertains also to a new information which is irrelevant. Number 4, we would have to object because the good counsel used the word banta, which is a conclusion of fact. She mentioned it twice. So we are objecting on the basis of it being conclusions of fact. Number 5, as to the special task force, same objection, Your Honor, considering that, again, there was no mention of such new information in the articles of impeachment. Number 6 and 7 are okay, Your Honor.
would the lead prosecutor care to respond?
We would like to respond, Your Honor.
The lady may proceed.
Your Honor, maliwanag po sa naging banta ng Vice Presidente kaugnay ng November 23, 2024 na video. May kinausap siyang tao kaugnay ng kanyang banta sa buhay ng Presidente, ng First Lady at ng dating Speaker. Later, Your Honor, we will present that this special task force was specifically created for the purpose of furthering the investigation because of the possibility of seeing na hindi po mag-isa ang Vice Presidente sa bantang ito. In other words, Your Honor, the mention of special task force, including its creation at ang karagdagang investigasyon nito, passes the test of relevance. As a matter of fact, this is the very reason why we are presenting Attorney Melvin Matibag, the NBI Director, before the Honorable Impeachment Court. Your Honor, the defense likewise mentioned that special task force was not mentioned in the articles of impeachment. Nais ko pong ibalik ang naging desisyon ng kagalang-galang na impeachment court kahapon, kaugnay ng mga dokumento which pertains to acts and omissions prior to 2022 and acts or omissions which were not specifically mentioned in the articles of impeachment. Ang mahalaga po dito, Your Honor, ay itong mga aligasyon or testimony to be presented ay may kaugnayan o relevant sa article of impeachment. It is not necessary that they be specifically mentioned in the articles of impeachment. Finally, Your Honor, they likewise raised the issue of due process of the respondent. It is very much apparent, Your Honor, since day one of our impeachment trial, the respondent is very well represented by her very much able defense panel. In other words, Your Honor, atin pong ibinibigay ang nararapat na due process sa respondent vice president in as far as this impeachment trial is concerned, kasama na po ang pagtistigo ni NBI Director, kaugnay ng Special Task Force at ang mga naging investigasyon nito.
Just a short rejoinder, Your Honor.
Counsel for respondent may do so before the chair makes a ruling on the offer and the comments to the offer. You may proceed, Attorney Binlon.
Your Honor, considering that the prosecution mentioned dates prior to the appointment of Director Matibag, then we would also add as basis for our objection his lack of personal knowledge.
Noted. Chair will now make a ruling. Chair reminds the lead prosecutor to skip the introduction and preliminary questions with respect to the witness being the current NBI director, having been admitted by the counsel for respondent. Insofar as the phrase banta is concerned, Chair would like to remind the senator judges that that is indeed a conclusion which the prosecutors will seek to prove for our purposes. Tawagin na lamang natin o ituring na lamang natin ang mga pahayag ang binitiwan ng ikalawang Pangulo. But lead prosecutor, kindly let the witness testify and characterize it as such if he will, but it should come from the witness and not from any of the counsel for the parties. As to the task force, the task force was formed on April 16, 2026, after the impeachment complaints have been filed. Although the impeachment complaint was filed before the Senate in May, the impeachment complaints were already filed prior to the formation of the task force. And as a last point, this, if at all, would show persistence, absence or lack of it, which is an element of the crime of grave threats which the prosecution is seeking to prove. Again, not through their statements, but through the witnesses they will be presenting in the person today of Director Matibag. The chair will therefore allow the testimony, and the counsel for the respondent may object at any time with respect to the points he raised, and the chair will rule each time an objection is raised regarding that matter without prejudice. I'm already seeing what Attorney Binloan will do because he's reaching for the mic. Without prejudice to the counsel, of course, making a continuing objection with respect to his observations to the offer, so that we would abbreviate the proceedings and he won't need to object each time, if at all, it is brought up. Would that be correct, Attorney?
Yes, Your Honor, we register our continuing objection and everything subject to cross, Your Honor.
Noted. The lead prosecutor may proceed. Your witness.
Mr. Witness, pakisabi po ang inyong pangalan, edad, at iba pang pagkakakilanlan.
Ako po ay si Attorney Melvin Matibag na kasalukuyang Director ng National Bureau of Investigation. Ang aming pong tanggapan ay may address na 9th floor Philinvest Cyber Zone Building, Diosdado, Macapagal, Pasay City.
Nabanggit mo na ikaw ay isang abogado. Gaano ka na katagal sa nasabing propesyon?
29 years po.
Saan ka nagtapos ng iyong abogasya?
Sa Ateneo Law School po.
Bago ang iyong abogasya, ano ang una mong inaral sa kolehiyo?
Ako po ay nagtapos ng Bachelor of Arts, major in Philosophy sa University of Santo Tomas.
Pagkatapos naman ng abogasya, Mr. Witness, ano ang iyong inaral kung mayroon man?
Nag-aral po ako ng Masters of Law, major in Corporate and Finance Law sa Wayne State University, Detroit, Michigan, USA po.
You are here as NBI Director. Bago ka itinalaga bilang NBI Director, ano ang iyong mga naging trabaho kung mayroon man?
Bago po ako itinalaga na NBA Director, kasalukuyan po ako naglilingkod bilang Dean o Dekano ng Lyceum Alabang College of Law.
Nabanggit mo na ikaw ay dating dean ng Lyceum College of Law, Alabang. Bukod sa pagiging dean, ano pa, kung mayroon man, ang iyong naging trabaho bago ang iyong pagkatalaga bilang NBI Director?
Ako po ay nanungkulan na rin sa iba't ibang kapasidad sa ilalim po ng iba't ibang administrasyon. Una-una po rito bilang Director ng Laguna Lake Development Authority sa administrasyon po ni dating Pangulong Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Nabanggit mo na ikaw ay naglingkod bilang Director ng Laguna Lake Development Authority panahon ng dating Pangulo, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Ano pa, Mr. Witness, kung mayroon man, ang iyong naging trabaho bago ka itinalaga bilang NBI Director?
Sa administrasyon po din ng dating Pangulong Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, ako rin po ay nanungkulan bilang General Manager ng Manila International Airport Authority at sa administrasyon din po ng dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte, ako rin po ay nanungkulan sa iba't ibang kapasidad po.
Nabanggit mo na sa ilalim ng administrasyon ni Pangulong Duterte, nanungkulan ka rin sa gobyerno. Ano itong mga posisyon mo sa gobyerno na iyong nabanggit?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Your Honor, may I
Counsel
respond?
may answer. Counsel may respond
The
rather.
prosecution, Your Honor, is establishing the competence of the witness, the qualification as an official of the government. We are establishing, Your Honor, that he is loyal to his duty regardless of the principal he is serving.
Wind up with your preliminaries, counsel. Witness may answer. Objection overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ako po ay nanungkulan bilang Presidente at CEO ng National Transmission Corporation mula po noong January 2017 hanggang Marso 2022 at pagkatapos doon ako po ay tinalaga bilang Cabinet Secretary po ng dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Kaugnay pa rin ng iyong pagiging NBI Director. Kailan ka itinalaga sa nasabing posisyon?
Ako po ay nai-appoint noong pong February 20 ng kasalukuyang taon po.
Mr. Witness, bilang NBI Director, ano ang iyong mga responsibilidad at kapangyarihan kung iyong nalalaman?
Objection, Your Honor. We already stipulated on this matters. No need for the Director.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
Did you stipulate, counsel, as well as with the powers, responsibilities of
We're willing to stipulate, Your Honor, as what
The
the law
Director?
provides.
Your Honor, regardless of the position of the defense to stipulate on the fact pertaining to the powers and responsibilities of the NBI Director, it is the position of the prosecution that since this is a constitutional process, mahalaga po na marinig ng ating mga iginagalang na senator judges, ganun din ng mga kababayang nanonood kung ano talaga ang responsibilidad at kapangyarihan ng isang NBI Director.
Understood, counsel, but it has been stipulated already by counsel for the respondent. So kindly go straight to the matter at the soonest possible time. You're on a short leash with respect to the preliminaries on the qualifications of the witness. Kindly proceed, ma'am.
Mr. Witness, ano ang iyong mga kapangyarihan at responsibilidad kung iyong nalalaman?
Ang kasama po dito sa aking mga responsibilidad, ang una-una na po, we are the primary investigating authority ng ating pong bansa. Kung kaya po, ito po ay aming mandato na mag-imbestiga sa anumang usapin o mga maaring krimen na pumapasok sa amin. At kasama rin po dito ang pagbabalangkas ng mga polisiya at pagbubuo po ng mga units or division kung kinakailangan at ang pagmamanage din po administratively po ng aming opisina.
Sa mga kapangyarihan at responsibilidad na iyong binanggit, ano ang araw-araw mong ginagampanan kung mayroon man at kung iyong nalalaman?
Ang araw-araw pong pagbabantay at pakikipag-ugnayan sa aming mga ahente dahil po sa araw-araw namin pag-iimbestiga ng iba't iba pong usapin na pumapasok po sa aming ahensya.
Kaugnay pa rin ng mga binanggit mong kapangyarihan at responsibilidad, ano ang pinakamabigat mo na responsibilidad bilang NBI Director kung iyong nalalaman?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for an opinion.
Witness may answer. I think witness is competent enough to answer that question.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Ang akin pong, hindi lamang po bilang primary investigating agency, kundi ang amin pong primerong ginagawa ay ang pagbabantay para po sa ating mga taong bayan at bantayan din po ng ating konstitusyon ay may patupad at siguraduhin na hindi po nagkakaroon ng kaguluhan at ligalig para ito po ay puksain, habulin at amin pong kung kinakailangan ay kasuhan ang mga taong lumalabag po sa amin pong mandatong binabantayan.
Chair would like to remind the lead prosecutor to go into the meat of our direct examination already. I think we've heard enough of the preliminaries insofar as Director Matibag is concerned. Kindly
May we
proceed, ma'am.
Your Honor. Mr. Witness, naririto ka upang tumistigo sa impeachment trial na ito. Ano ang pagkakakilanlan ng respondent sa impeachment trial na ito kung iyong nalalaman?
Malinaw naman po na ang nasasakdal po sa impeachment trial na ito ay ang ating pong Vice Presidente na si Vice President Sara Duterte.
Bukod sa ang respondent ay ang Vice Presidente, ano pa kung mayroon man ang pagkakakilanlan ng respondent sa impeachment trial na ito?
Base po sa aking mandato bilang direktor nang ako po ay pumasok sa aming opisina, lahat po ng mga kasong nakabinbin at mga amin na naipasok sa Department of Justice ay aking pong niribisa at tiningnan upang akin po itong masubaybayan. At isa po sa mga kasong aking nakita rito, ang respondent po rito ay ang ating pong Vice Presidente kung saan po siya ay kinasuhan ng aming Cybercrime Division ng grave threat at inciting to sedition na kasalukuyan po ngayong nakabinbin sa Department of Justice.
Nabanggit mo na ang respondent ay may kasong grave threat at inciting to sedition sa DOJ. Mr. Witness, ano pa kung mayroon man ang pagkakakilanlan ng respondent sa impeachment trial na ito?
Ang ating pong Vice Presidente kasalukuyang ating pong subject sa ating continuing investigation dun po sa pagbabanta at plano na pagpatay po sa ating Pangulo, sa First Lady at sa dati pong Speaker of the House.
Mr. Witness, may binanggit ka na continuing investigation ng NBI. Ano ang iyong ginawa kung mayroon man kaugnay ng ongoing investigation ng NBI na iyong binanggit?
Tayo po ay nagtatag ng tinatawag ko ni Special Task Force po sa pamamagitan ng pag-create po ng isang administrative order kung saan bumalangkas po tayo ng mga miyembro ng aming pong opisina para sila po ang magtuloy ng investigasyon na ito at mag-monitor po ng mga kailangang gawin.
Kaugnay pa rin ng binanggit mong Special Task Force. Ano ang kahalagahan nito sa investigasyon na ginagawa ng National Bureau of Investigation?
Napakahalaga po para sa amin sapagkat from our law enforcement perspective, ang ginawa pong banta ng Vice Presidente ay tinatrato na namin hindi banta kundi isang plano para po sa pagpatay sa ating Pangulo. And that is a threat to the President which we consider also na threat po sa ating national security.
Mr. Witness, anong katunayan mayroon ka? Kaugnay ng iyong binanggit na binuong Special Task Force upang mag-imbestiga sa lahat ng banta sa buhay ng Presidente kasama na ang pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente.
Meron po akong inisyu na Administrative Order number 11 noong April 16 ng kasalukuyang taon po.
At kung ipapakita sa iyo ang kopya ng Administrative Order number 11, ito ba ay makikilala mo?
Opo.
Your Honor, may we request that AO number 11, previously marked as Exhibit P429, be flashed. We likewise request, Your Honor, that Attorney Kyle Kapunan, assisting counsel, be allowed to approach the witness for confirmation of the document.
Assisting counsel for the prosecution may approach, and likewise, assisting counsel for the respondent may approach to confirm and validate the document being shown to the witness. Likewise, the tech, through the clerk of court, is instructed to kindly flash in the screens the document being referred to by the lead prosecutor, the Honorable Luis Tro. Kindly zoom it in, please.
Mr.
Thank you.
Witness,
Your Honor, Your Honor, can we be
Attorney
given time
Binloan
to
is
comment?
recognized.
Your Honor, we manifest for the record, Your Honor, that the document is a photocopy.
So noted. Thus, the lead prosecutor confirmed the observation of the counsel for respondents while we are awaiting, the respondent rather,
Your Honor,
while we are awaiting for their review of the document.
Your Honor, after the confirmation of the document, the prosecution will be requesting for the transfer of marking to a certified true copy, Your Honor.
At a later time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Noted. Counsel may proceed when she's ready.
Mr. Witness, ipinapakita sa iyo ngayon, may we request the assisting counsel to please show the document to the witness?
Attorney Kapunan, kindly.
Mr. Witness, ipinapakita sa iyo ngayon ang isang dokumento na may pamagat na Administrative Order Number 11. Ano ang kaugnayan nito sa binanggit mo kanina na Administrative Order Number 11 na kung saan nabuo ang Special Task Force?
Ito po yung aking dokumentong binabanggit.
Sa pangalawang pahina ng Administrative Order Number 11, makikita ang isang lagda sa taas ng pangalang Attorney Melvin Matibag. Kaninong lagda ito, Mr. Witness?
Sa akin po.
Your Honor, may we manifest that AO number 11 has been previously marked as Exhibit P429, and we just want to place on record the request for the transfer of marking at a later time to the certified true copy, Your Honor.
Noted.
Kaugnay pa rin ng Administrative Order Number 11, Mr. Witness. Ano ang komposisyon ng Special Task Force kung iyong nalalaman?
Ito po ay binubuo ng iba't ibang division na pinamumunuan po ng aming pong team leader na Deputy Director for Operations at dalawa po na assistant team leader sa pangunguna po ng Assistant Director namin for Investigation at Assistant Director for Intelligence po.
Nabanggit mo ang team leader at assistant team leader ng Special Task Force. Sino naman ang mga miyembro ng Special Task Force kung iyong nalalaman?
Your Honor, hindi po sino, kundi ito po ay mga grupo, specific units po. Isa na po rito ang National Capital Region Division namin, ang Cybercrime Division po namin, ang aming pong OCTD, Organized Crime, Transnational Crime Division, ang TID po at ang CFD.
Mr. Witness, nabanggit mo ang National Capital Region Division. Ano ang dahilan at isinama ang National Capital Region Division sa miyembro ng Special Task Force kung iyong nalalaman?
Sapagkat ang pag-iimbestiga po at ang continuing na surveillance ay tungkol sa banta sa kaligtasan po ng ating Pangulo at ang primerong opisina at tirahan po ng ating Pangulo ay nasa National Capital Region, kung kaya naman po ating pong isinama rito ang National Capital Region bilang miyembro po ng Special Task Force na ito.
Mr. Witness, binanggit mo din kanina ang Cybercrime Division. Ano naman ang dahilan kung iyong nalalaman? Bakit ginawang miyembro ng Special Task Force ang Cybercrime Division?
Ang Cybercrime Division po ay kasama dito sa task force na ito sapagkat marami po ngayon na nabanta na pumapasok po sa ating Pangulo sa pamamagitan po paggamit ng social media platform at ang CCD po, sila po yung may karanasan at kaalaman po na sapat para bantayan po ang mga bantang papasok dito sa pang-araw-araw po.
Mr. Witness, binanggit mo din ang Organized Transnational Crime Division. Ano naman ang dahilan at isinama ito sa Special Task Force kung mayroon man?
Hindi naman po lingid sa atin na ang ating Pangulo ay may mga pagkakataon na lumalabas ng ating bansa at nagbabiyahe na kung saan ay ating pa rin pong tungkulin na bantayan ang kanyang seguridad kahit siya ay nasa labas sa ating bansa. At ang ating pong Organized Transnational Crime Division, sila po yung merong ugnayan sa ating pong mga counterparts sa iba't ibang bansa upang ating pong maisiguro ang kaligtasan po ng ating pong Pangulo habang siya ay nasa labas ng ating bansa.
Mr. Witness, kasama sa iyong binanggit ang Technical Intelligence Division. Ano naman ang dahilan at kasama ito sa miyembro ng STF kung mayroon man?
Napaka-importante po ng role ng TID, ng Technical Intelligence Division, sapagkat ang mga banta po na katulad ng pumapasok po sa ating Pangulo ay nangangailangan po ng masusi at malawak na intelligence network. At ang TID po natin, sila po ang may karapatan dito at nagpuproseso ng mga ganito pong gawain.
Bilang huli, Mr. Witness, binanggit mo din ang Digital Forensic Laboratory Division. Ano naman ang dahilan at isinama ito sa miyembro ng Special Task Force?
Importante po ang kanilang role dito sa task force na ito sapagkat lahat po ng mga ebidensya na ating makakalap, lalong-lalo na nakailangan pong idaan sa forensics o pagsusuri na technical, sila po ang dibisyon na maaari pong gumawa ng pagsusuri na ito.
Maraming salamat sa iyong paglilinaw kaugnay ng komposisyon ng Special Task Force. Mr. Witness, anong mga pagkakataon kailangan ng NBI bumuo ng task force kung iyong nalalaman?
Ang pagbuo ng task force ay yung mga immediate po na pangangailangan nating tugunan. Isa po yan. Pangalawa po rito ay kung isa ng malawakan ang isang bagay na kailangan nating tugunan at imbestigahan. At ang task force din po, kaya po ganyan kalawak kung makikita ninyo, ay kung ang nasasakupan po nito ay hindi lamang iisang lugar. At yung pong mga seryosong banta, na katulad ng banta sa ating Pangulo, ganitong task force po ang pakiramdam namin na kinakailangan.
Mr. Witness, balikan ko ang Special Task Force na iyong binuo. Kanina, ibinahagi mo ang komposisyon nito. Ano ang iyong partisipasyon bilang NBI Director kung meron man sa investigasyon ng Special Task Force?
Nakasad po dyan sa administrative order na yan na ang patuloy na pakikipag-ugnayan po sa Office ng Director at patuloy na pag-uulat kung ano man po ang kanilang nakikita o namomonitor at lalong-lalo na po kung may specific po na kailangan kaagad matugunan ay dapat pong ipaalam sa opisina po ng Office ng Director.
Balikan natin ang Special Task Force na binuo sa ilalim ng AO number 11, Mr. Witness. Ano ang nagtulak sa'yo kung mayroon man upang buuin ang Special Task Force na ito?
Ang akin na po nabanggit, ang malinaw na banta at planong pagpatay po sa ating Pangulo na para sa amin po sa law enforcement, ito ay nag-transcend na sa banta po sa ating national security. Sapagkat anuman pong banta sa ating Pangulo ay banta sa seguridad ng ating bansa. Sapagkat ito'y magdudulot ng kaguluhan, ng ligalig at destabilisasyon po sa ating pong gobyerno at sa ating pong bansa.
Nabanggit mo na ang banta sa buhay ng Pangulo ay banta na rin sa national security. Ano pa, Mr. Witness, kung mayroon man ang nagtulak sa'yo upang buuin ang Special Task Force na ito?
May mga pangyayari po na atin pong nasaksihan na nagpatunay na ang banta ay seryoso. Katunayan po, ang aming investigasyon ngayon ay tumawid na sa hindi banta, kundi isang plano talaga na patayin po ang ating Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Sapagkat doon po sa ating mga inobserbahan na tinatawag dating open source intel, manilaw po roon ng ating Vice Presidente sinabi mismo na siya ay kumausap na ng papatay at pumayag yung papatay na yan sa ating Pangulo ng Pilipinas.
Mr. Witness, bukod sa iyong nabanggit kung saan may kinausap ang Vice Presidente na papatay sa Pangulo, ano pa? Kung mayroon man, ang dahilan o nagtulak sa'yo upang buuin ang Special Task Force?
Kung makikita po ninyo doon sa whereas clauses ng Administrative Order 11, ang nag-isa pong nagpatibay rito ay yung aming napanood na live broadcast po ng isang rally na tinatawag na Rage Coalition. If I remember it correctly, it's April 12 na nagsasalita ang mayor ng Davao City na si Mayor Sebastian Basti Duterte na sinabi niya na isang ulo lang naman ang kailangan namin at yan ay ang ulo ni Bongbong Marcos. Yan po ay aming isinama sa aming factor upang buuin po itong ating Administrative Order number 11.
May nabanggit ka na Rage Coalition Rally noong April 12, 2026. Ano itong insidenteng ito, Mr.
Objection, Your
Witness?
Honor, relevance. We ask for the relevance, Your Honor.
Part of the witness's narration, counsel, you're on a short leash again, kindly connected to this case.
Your Honor, this
Witness may answer.
question...
Dito po sa rally na ito ay nakita natin doon pa lang pa sa pangalan na sinasabing rage, ito po ay may interpretasyon base sa aming law enforcement experience na pag sinabing rage, galit, puot. At ang mga personalidad po na dumalo rito ay makikita nating mga personalidad na kilalang tumutuligsa at naglalabas ng destabilisasyon po sa ating pong gobyerno ngayon. Makikita po natin ang presence ng iba't ibang personalities dyan na consistent na nagdudulot ng ligalig po sa atin pong bansa.
Mr. Witness, kung ipapakita sa iyo itong videong ito ba'y makikilala mo?
Opo.
Anong partikular na bahagi ng videong ito ang tumutukoy sa iyong sinabi kung saan may binanggit si Mayor Sebastian Duterte?
Mr. President, we be allowed
Objection,
to
Your
check
Honor.
on the timestamp.
Let's listen to the counsel's objection first. Attorney Vinluan, what is your objection?
Again, irrelevant, Your Honor.
Same ruling. Counsel, go to it directly, and I hope you will connect and make the connection between this video and the matter at hand. Yes, Director Matibag, you may proceed to open the US. Are you referring to your notes, rather?
Opo, yung po aking investigation.
You
note
may
po,
refer to your notes,
kung saan
Director
po
Matibag.
nakasulat ang timestamp nung video na akin po binabanggit.
Your Honor, may we be allowed also to peruse
Counsel
that-
for assisting counsel for the respondent may look at the document being reviewed by the witness. Likewise, should the prosecutor wish to do so, assisting counsel for the prosecutor may also stand up and accompany assisting counsel for the defense. You may proceed, Director Matibag, to answer.
Yan po ay nasa timestamp 2:34:35 to 2:34:43.
Your Honor, we are requesting that the video of Mayor Sebastian Duterte during the Rage Coalition on April 12, 2026, which has been previously marked as P430, particularly timestamp 2:34:35 to 2:34:43, be flashed, Your Honor.
The tech is directed to kindly play the timestamps mentioned. May I request assisting counsel from the defense to kindly witness the breaking. Is the USB sealed, counsel? Has
I
the
believe,
seal
Your
been
Honor.
broken? Witness is instructed to break the seal while being witnessed by assisting counsel for both parties before it is presented to the tech for it to be played.
Ayaw. Ayan.
While the witness is breaking the seal and giving it rather to the counsel for the prosecutor and assisting counsel for the respondent, Chair would like to make a manifestation with respect to the proceedings. Earlier, the Chair intimated to some senator judges as far as practicable, to make their interjections and interventions after the party shall have examined the witness, both direct, cross, redirect, and recross, if any, unless the matter is of urgent, administrative, or procedural concern, in which case it may be brought up even before the examination of the witness by the parties. But as far as practicable, let us allow the parties to finish the examination of the witnesses by themselves, because this is more of a trial really than merely seeking clarificatory questions when the counsels can elicit that from the witness anyway. Yes, are we ready to play the video?
Tama na yan. That's okay. Isang ulo lang naman ang kailangan namin. Ang ulo ni Bongbong Marcos!
Mr. Witness, napanood mo ang video. Ano ang kaugnayan ng video na ito sa insidente ng Rage Coalition na tinukoy mo kanina?
Yan po yung aking tinutukoy na video.
Ano ang partikular na sinabi ni Mayor Sebastian Duterte sa nasabing insidente kung iyong naaalala?
Sinabi po niya na isang ulo lang naman ang kailangan namin, ang ulo ni Bongbong Marcos.
Mr. Witness, ano ang kahalagahan ng insidenteng ito sa Rage Coalition sa investigasyon na ginagawa ng Special Task Force kaugnay ng banta ng Vice Presidente sa buhay ng Presidente?
Objection, Your Honor. Up to now, the prosecution has not established the relevance of these incidents to the matter at hand, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'm
We're
in the
objecting on the basis
process.
of irrelevance, Your Honor.
I'm in the process of establishing the relevance already, Your Honor.
Counsel, kindly do so as best you can with the shortest possible time. I will allow it.
Yung pong video na yan ay amin pong naikumpara sa mga naging pahayag ng ating Vice Presidente na kung saan meron din po kaming bidyong binalikan na ang ating Vice Presidente ay nagre-refer din po sa pagtanggal ng ulo ng ating pong Presidente. Kung kaya't nakita namin po ang pagkakahambing ng statement po ng ating pong Mayor at ng Vice President Sara Duterte.
Mr. Witness, binanggit mo ang isang insidente kung saan sinabi ng Vice Presidente gusto tanggalin ang ulo ng Presidente. Ano itong insidenteng ito kung iyong nalalaman?
Sa aking pong recollection sa iyong pag-iimbestiga, ito po yung kanyang press conference noong October 18 ng 2024 kung saan sinabi niya gusto kong tanggalin ang ulo niya ba? At sinabi rin po niya nga imagine cutting his head. So yan po ang binabanggit ko na video.
Kaugnay ng sinabi niya na gusto ko tanggalin yung ulo niya ba? Anong partikular na bahagi ng binanggit mo na video ang tumutukoy sa sinabing ito ng Vice Presidente?
Mr. Presiding Officer, respectfully, with your permission, for the timestamp, I want to refer to my
Witness
notes.
is allowed to refer to his notes
Salamat
with the
po.
assistance and within the view of the counsel, assisting counsel for the respondent and the prosecution if they so desire.
Your Honor, can we ask permission to scan the whole notebook, Your Honor? Or at least the salient portions of the notebook, Your Honor.
To look at it, to scan it, to see that if baka may mga nakasulat na iba dyan na wala nang kinalaman. Just to confirm that it is indeed his notes with respect. What is the book you are referring to or notebook you're referring to, Attorney Matibag?
Mr. Presiding Officer, actually, diary ko po ito at saka notes eh. Combination. So kung makikita naman po, mula pa noon, iba't iba pong nakasulat dito. May mga personal po, may mga usapin. Ito lamang pong notes ko na to, nakatuon dun sa date kung saan po nagkaroon na ng investigation po yung Administrative Order number 11.
Then just the salient portions, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just for the record, we would like to invoke the right of the witness to refer to his notes because that note pertains to investigation notes which were prepared, done, written at the time of the investigation, Your Honor. That is to refresh his memory, Your Honor.
No, the presiding officer already allowed it. Counsel for the respondent, your assisting counsel is there. Without necessarily scanning the whole notebook, which might contain other confidential or perhaps personal information, he may observe what the witness is referring to, and you may make your observations known to the record should he observe something out of the ordinary. Witness may answer.
Ang timestamp po dun sa sinabi kong gusto kong tanggalin yung ulo niya ba is from 1:35:57 to 1:36:10 po.
Your Honor, may we request that the video of the Vice President on October 18, 2024, during her press conference, previously marked as P411, particularly timestamp 1:35:57 to 1:36:10, be played, Your Honor.
Has the USB seal been broken by the witness? If not, witness is instructed to kindly break the seal of the marked evidence in full view of the assisting counsels for the parties. Thereafter, for the USB to be brought to the tech booth, and the clerk of court is instructed to have it played with respect to the identified timestamps of Director Matibag.
Gusto ko tanggalin yung ulo niya ba?
Mr. Witness,
Toxic
napanood mo ang video.
The video is still playing, I believe, lead prosecutor. Unless you want it cut already.
Yung timestamp.
It may be cut, Your Honor.
I'm sorry? Do you
It
want?
may be cut, Your Honor.
Okay.
The timestamp is only 1:35:57 to 1:36:10. Mr. Witness, napanood mo ang video? Ano ang kaugnayan nito sa insidenteng tinukoy mo kanina kung saan sinabi ng Vice Presidente, gusto kong tanggalin ang ulo niya ba?
That is the same video that I was referring to.
Kanina, Mr. Witness, binanggit mo din na may sinabi ang Vice Presidente, I imagine myself cutting his head. Anong partikular na bahagi naman ng video na iyong tinukoy ang tumutukoy sa sinabing ito ng Vice Presidente kung iyong nalalaman?
Again, Mr. Presiding Officer may be allowed to look for the
Witness may do so.
Thank you po. Timestamp 1:36:52 po to timestamp 1:36:58.
Your Honor, may we request that the same video be played, particularly timestamp 1:36:52 to 1:36:58.
Pertaining to the same exhibit, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Same exhibit P411.
Tech is instructed through the clerk of court to kindly play the video.
myself cutting his head.
Mr. Witness, napanood mo ang video. Ano ang kaugnayan nito sa insidenteng tinukoy mo kanina kung saan sinabi ng Vice Presidente, I imagine myself cutting his head.
Yan din po yung video ang aking tinutukoy.
Mr. Witness, kanina ay binanggit mo ang insidente ng Mayor Sebastian Duterte. Kaninong ulo ang kailangan nila kung iyong nalalaman?
Objection asked and answered, Your Honor.
Asked and answered. Move on, counsel.
Binanggit mo din ang video ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Mr. Witness, kaninong ulo ang gustong tanggalin?
Objection as unanswered, Your Honor.
Move on, counsel. Asked and answered. The court understands and knows who said the Vice President was referring to in that video.
Thank you, Your Honor. We will proceed. Ano ang obserbasyon mo dito sa video ni Mayor Sebastian Duterte at sa video ni Vice President Sara Duterte kaugnay ng investigasyon ng Special Task Force kung mayroon man?
Objection vague, Your Honor. Ano ang obserbasyon mo?
Kindly be more specific, counsel. Although the
Miss-
witness is competent, kindly be more specific so that the witness can more intelligently answer the question.
Mr. Witness, anong koneksyon kung mayroon man ang video ni Mayor Sebastian Duterte at ang video ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa kasalukuyang investigasyon ng Special Task Force?
Objection,
kung
Your
mayroon
Honor.
man
Objection,
at
Your
kung
Honor.
iyong nalalaman.
Objection, Your Honor. Still vague and as unanswered.
Witness may answer if he knows so that we can move on. Director Matibag, kindly respond.
Salamat po. Kapansin-pansin po na makikita natin na nanggagaling sa isang pamilya ang pagbabanta sa ating Pangulo at parehas na nag-refer sa ulo ng Pangulo. Kung kaya naman, iniisip po ba namin kung meron bang kasabwat o may sabwatan sa pangyayaring ito, sapagkat gaya po ng aking binanggit na noong November 23, binanggit po ng ating Presidente na meron na siyang kinausap para pumatay sa ating Pangulo at pumayag siya. Kaya ito po ang amin pong tinututukan sa task force na amin pong itinatag.
Objection, Your Honor. We would have to object as to the answer being non-responsive, and we would like to move, Your Honor, that it be expunged from the record.
Your Honor, the witness has answered already, and that should form part of the transcript of our trial today.
Then we move to strike it off, Your Honor.
The objection is overruled and the motion to strike is denied. Let it remain in the records for the appreciation of the senator judges as to the weight they will give that particular part of the witness's testimony.
We will submit, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, binanggit
Councilman,
mo
proceed.
kanina na may kinausap ng tao ang Vice Presidente. Ano ang kahalagahan nito sa inyong investigasyon sa Special Task Force? Kung mayroon man.
Sapagkat ito po, yung amin mismong tinitingnan, sapagkat ang tingin nga po namin dito, that the threat is serious, active, and continuing doon po sa banta sa ating Presidente. At dahil ito ay seryoso, aktibo, at patuloy na umiiral, ay nagiging banta na rin po sa ating pambansang seguridad. Sapagkat anuman pong banta sa seguridad ng ating Pangulo ay banta po sa ating national security.
Mr. Witness, ano ang inyong obserbasyon kung mayroon man doon sa sinabi ng Vice Presidente na mayroon na siyang kinausap na tao?
Objection vague, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the witness is very much competent. Please allow him to answer the question.
Objection overruled. Witness may answer. Kindly move on, counsel. I think I know where you're getting at, but kindly move on toward your point. Witness may answer.
Ang obserbasyon po namin dito ay hindi na ito isang banta, kundi isang plano. Sapagkat ang tingin po namin dito ay inianunsyo ng ating Vice Presidente ang kanyang planong pagpatay sa Pangulo ng Pilipinas at mga nabanggit pa ang kanyang gustong ipapatay doon po sa kanyang pagbabanggit sa kanyang press conference.
Kanina, Mr. Witness, binanggit mo ang investigasyon ng NBI noong November 2024. Ano ang pagkakaiba kung mayroon man ng investigasyon ng NBI noong November 2024 sa kasalukuyang investigasyon ng Special Task Force na nagumpisa noong Abril 2026?
Malaki po ang pagkakaiba. Yung investigasyon po na natapos na ginawa noong November 24 na nag-iimbestiga doon po sa grave threat at sa inciting to sedition, ito po ay ordinaryong krimen na iniimbestigahan na sa ngayon po ay nakabinbinma sa Department of Justice para sa kanilang resolusyon. Pero ang amin pong iniimbestigahan ay sinuulit ko nga po, the serious, active, and continuing threat to the life of the President which already transcend to a national security issue. Sapagkat malinaw po na hindi na ito banta, kundi isang plano na patayin ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas.
With the permission of the Council of the Parties, Chair would like to clarify for the record and for the Senator judges that the investigation conducted by the NBI in November of 2025, the witness was not yet the director at that time, but he can testify as to the fact that the agency he now heads conducted the investigation, but not as to the truth of the investigations conducted at that time, but as to the fact that investigations were conducted only. You may proceed, Counsel.
Mr. Witness, ano ang dahilan? Bakit kasama ang video ni Mayor Sebastian Duterte sa inyong sinasabi ngayon na ang bantang ito ay banta na sa national security kung mayroon man?
Objection asked and answered, Your Honor.
Asked and answered, Counsel. Move on.
Your Honor, as a matter of fact, we haven't asked that question and the witness is supposed to explain the reasons why the video was actually considered in their observation that this is a threat to national security.
I believe the witness already answered that any threat to the president is a threat to national security, to the national security of the country. And earlier, the counsel already asked the relationship of the video to that statement of the witness, which the chair allowed. We're already there, counsel. Please move on.
Bilang karagdagan, Mr. Witness, sa iyong binanggit na issue ng national security, kaugnay ng video ni Mayor Sebastian Duterte, ano pa ang dahilan, kung mayroon man, kung bakit isinama siya sa pagsusuri ng Special Task Force?
Sapagkat dito lang nga po na makikita ng naging pagbabanta ng ating Vice President ay nagkaroon po ng tinatawag natin na epekto. It is a kinetic force na kung saan yung mga nakarinig ng kanyang pagbabanta ay gumagaya na rin at nagbabanta. Lalong-lalo na sila ay nabibilang sa isang pamilya. That is the very purpose of the task force, to monitor all those threats na lumalabas po ngayon at sa araw-araw nga meron po tayong nakikitang threat sa social media, sa mga pahayag po during the mga rallies, ay tuloy-tuloy po nabanta sa ating pong Pangulo na umaabot na po na banta sa ating national security.
Binanggit mo ang kinetic force. Anong ibig sabihin nito, Mr. Witness?
Na yung kanila pong aksyon ay nagkakaroon po ng epekto para kumilos sa mga nakakarinig, ang kanilang mga supporter, upang maghasik po ng ligalig at kaguluhan po sa ating pong bansa at hindi na nirirespeto ang ating pong konstitusyon at wala na rin pong pagtingin sa ating democratic process.
Ano pa ang dahilan kung meron man? Bakit isinama sa pagsusuri ang video ni Mayor Sebastian Duterte kaugnay ng Rage Coalition Rally?
Yung
Objection
presensya,
asked and answered, Your Honor.
Witness may answer.
yung proseso po namin na yan, doon po namin nakita na sinasabi ko nga, yung mga participants dito, yung po mga kilala na mga tao na nagdudulot ng ligalig at pagtutol sa demokrasya po natin. At nandiron din po yung broadcast na yan, napakarami pong naabot na tao, nasa 600,000 plus po yung live broadcast niyan. Doon na po papasok yung tinatawag ko nga kanina na sinabi kong kinetic force na maaaring magkaroon po ng reaksyon ng mga taong nanonood na ito na hindi po maganda at makagugulo po sa pag-promote po natin ng law and order na primero po nagawain po dapat ng National Bureau of Investigation.
Binanggit mo na may mga kilalang personalidad na nakibahagi sa Rage Coalition Rally. Sino-sino itong mga ito?
Objection, Your Honor, irrelevant.
Witness may answer.
Makita po natin doon, may mga senador din po na nandoon. Nandoon din po si Mike Defensor at nandoon po ang mga haligi po ng PDP Laban na akin po mga kakilala. Nandoon din po ang mga iba't ibang leader sa iba't ibang rehiyon na akin na pong nakasama noon nung ako ay miyembro pa ng PDP Laban.
Mr. Witness, ano ang ibig sabihin ng rage kung iyong nalalaman?
Objection, Your Honor, irrelevant.
I think council has already made the connection between the rage, the statements of Mayor Baste, and the statements of the respondent. Witness may answer.
Sa Tagalog po niyan ay galit o puot. Yun po.
Wala pong acronym yon, Director Matibag.
Hindi po kasi tumutugma doon sa acronym nila dahil yung acronym nila Reform Alliance for Good Governance. So hindi po RAGE eh. So medyo malayo po.
May I proceed, Your
Council
Honor?
may proceed.
Nabanggit mo din, Mr. Witness, na maraming nanood ng videong ito. Ilan ang nanood ng videong ito kung iyong nalalaman?
Sa live broadcast po, lumabas po na nasa 600,000.
At ano ang kahalagahan na 691,000 ang nanood sa live broadcast ng videong ito kung mayroon man?
Again, ganoon na po kalawak yung nakikita natin na resulta ng pag-asik po ng ligalik po at pagbabanta po sa kayusan, pati na rin po sa seguridad ng ating Pangulo.
Mr. Witness, kanina binanggit mo ang pagkakaiba ng naunang investigasyon ng NBI sa kasalukuyang investigasyon ng Special Task Force ng NBI. Ngayon, ano naman ang ginawa ng NBI sa pagitan ng unang investigasyon kung saan na-file ang kasong grave threat at inciting to sedition sa DOJ, February 2025, sa kasalukuyang investigasyon ng Special Task Force na inumpisahan nung buuin ang STF April 2026, kung mayroon man.
Ang sa pagkaalam ko
Council,
po,
you mean April 16, 2026. That's the, you're referring to AO 11.
Yes, Your Honor.
Witness may answer.
dun po base po sa tanong ng mula February 25, 2025, ako po ay hindi pa NBI noon, subalit nung ako po ay nag-assume nung February 20, kasama po sa ating pinag-aralan yan at alam naman po natin na ang mandato ng NBI ay ang patuloy na bantayan ng seguridad ng ating mga opisyalis at siguraduhin na may law and order. So ako po na-appraise naman na tuloy-tuloy ang mga monitoring at consultation po at surveillance na ginagawa ng iba't ibang unit noon. Ngayon, nung ako naman po ay pumasok bilang
She is mentioning, is referring to rather in his testimony. For the record, counsel, assisting counsel for the respondent as well as assisting counsel for the prosecutors are viewing the document produced by the witness.
Your Honor, just a comment.
Counsel for the respondents recognized.
Your Honor, it appears that this document has not been marked during the pre-trial conference.
Your
so
Honor, may I respond to
not
that?
yet done with my
Let
manifestation.
the counsel for respondent finish, counsel.
So in other words, may we request, Your Honor, that we be given a copy of such document as well for our perusal.
The prosecutor is so instructed to kindly furnish a copy if indeed this document has not yet been marked.
Your Honor, may I respond to that?
Counsel may respond.
The affidavit of Arturo Las Cañas has been previously marked as P-2-10-1-W, Your Honor, for the prosecution.
Then I stand corrected, Your Honor, but can we still request for a copy?
Nevertheless, kindly give the counsel for respondents a copy.
We submit, Your Honor.
Counsels rather for respondent a copy. Thank you, counsel.
But we make the manifestation, Your Honor, that such
Counsel may proceed to make a manifestation.
that such exhibit was indeed marked, but it was marked under Article 2, Your Honor, not Article 4.
We confirm, Your Honor. Nevertheless, we maintain that this document has been marked during the pre-trial conference, Your Honor.
Duly noted.
Mr. Witness?
Ito yung copy niya. It's the same. May USB. May USB. Is this part of the mark? Oh, this is part of the mark. Just an additional comment, Your Honor.
Counsel may proceed.
It appears that the two documents are not the same in that the marked documents contains a page and attached thereto is an USB. However, the copy of Director Matibag does not contain that page, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Counsel.
It appears, Your Honor, that the two documents are not the same in
What
that
two documents are you referring to? The
the marked exhibit and the set of documents from Director Matibag. With all due respect, Your Honor, the copy that was marked contains a page with annexes including a USB, and such page does not appear in the copy provided by Director Matibag.
So the copy of Director Matibag does not contain a page with an attached USB.
That's correct, Your Honor. It's incomplete.
Does counsel for the prosecutors, assisting counsel for the prosecutors, or lead counsel confirm that for the record?
We confirm, Your Honor. Nevertheless, the representation of the witness is that the copy is his own copy and does not pertain to the copy of the prosecution. And we will be willing, Your Honor, to use the pre-marked copy for the purpose of confirmation of the witness, Your Honor.
If you have it with you, counsel, why not just use that copy?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that
will
we
do.
can go directly to it, unless there are any reservations from the
We are
counsel
okay, Your Honor. Your Honor, if I may be recognized, we are okay with confronting the witness with his own copy, Your Honor. But again, we manifest that it was not the document that was marked and it does not contain the USB. Moreover, just an additional manifestation, the marked copy or marked set contains a stamp certified true copy, but it was not signed by anyone and there was no date provided.
Duly noted. Again, this without prejudice to the counsel for the prosecutor, furnishing counsel for respondent with a copy of the exact document produced by Director Matibag for further comparison and or observation either during cross or future proceedings later on.
We submit, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just a correction. There was a stamp, Your Honor, and a signature, but there was no name. Just for the record, Your Honor.
Duly noted for the record.
With the permission of the court, we'll be using the pre-marked document, Your Honor, for the purpose of confirmation.
Likewise, for the information of the counsel for respondent, would that be okay?
Then we take exception to that, Your Honor, because it was not the one that was identified by the witness in open court. What he identified was his own copy, and that copy does not contain any USB. So he does not have. He will be incompetent to testify on a pre-marked exhibit that he did not submit or participate in.
The exhibits can be later on compared to with a certified true copy at a later date, as has been previously done by the parties. In the meantime, Chair will allow the witness to use his copy without prejudice to any differences that may be shown either through cross or through the comparison after a copy shall have been furnished to the counsel for respondents.
Continuing objection, Your Honor.
So ordered.
May
Continuing
we
objection is
confirm,
noted.
Your Honor, which copy we will be using for
The counsel
confirmation?
produced by Director Matibag will be the one that will be used. Thereafter, Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros. You have 2 minutes, sir, and you may proceed when you're ready.
Mr. Presiding Officer, before I ask some questions, I can see that my time is already running. Let me just ask a procedural inquiry, Mr. Presiding Officer. And respectfully, this representation seek the guidance of the court on a procedural matter. Because earlier today, I heard our witness who made mention several times that the investigation is still ongoing. It's a continuing investigation. May we know, Mr. Presiding Officer, in this particular aspect of the NBI's investigation that remains ongoing, just for the guidance of this representation, and I'm sure for the guidance of both parties, kung matatapos na po yung investigasyon o yung presentation of evidence dito po sa Article 4 at magkakaroon po ng significant development na maaari pong material sa atin pong proceedings, ano po ang tamang proseso para maipabatid at kung kinakailangan maiharap po ito sa impeachment court, considering na isasara na po itong presentation of evidence sa Article 4?
Senator Judge Villanueva, as a rule, the court is a passive body. Hindi panghihimasukan ng husgado kung ano man ang pwede, balak o gustong gawin ng magkabilang partido, prosecution man o sa hanay ng respondent, kung mangyari man yun. And the court will not speculate with respect to that hypothetical situation should it arise, lest we be accused of prejudging or deciding certain matters for the parties that they should be the one deciding should that happen.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer. And in fact, I would suggest na kung maaari ay i-consider, because we feel that the suppletory application of the revised rules of court under Rule 6, most directly po doon sa Section 24, Rule 119 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure, provides, and I quote, "At any time before finality of the judgment of conviction, the judge may motu proprio or upon motion with hearing in either case reopen the proceedings to avoid a miscarriage of justice." Close quote. So just to put on record, Mr. Presiding Officer, na ito po yung magiging proper procedure. Marami pong salamat.
That is an option that the court may take, as the rule itself suggests. But at this juncture, the presiding officer would rather leave it to the parties, given that this is an adversarial proceeding, and the parties should know what they should do for the interest of their respective clients.
Thank
You may
you.
proceed, sir, with your questions. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Mr. President. Just one question to our witness, Director Matibag, for the benefit of the court and this representation. Maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag kung paano ini-evaluate po ng National Bureau of Investigation ang isang aligasyon na ang isang tao ay nag-utos o kumontrata ng iba upang magsagawa ng isang krimen? Bilang bahagi po ng inyong investigasyon, tinukoy po ba ninyo kung ang ganito pong aligasyon ay maaaring pumasok sa mga umiiral na probisyon ng ating revised penal code o iba pang special penal laws? Director Matibag, I'd like to ask this question because I believe, I don't know if you would agree with me, that the Bureau's role is to determine whether the facts may actually give or the facts may give rise to a criminal liability under our penal laws. Now, the constitutional function of this court, however, is different. We are not sitting as a criminal court to determine guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Rather, we are called upon to determine whether the respondents' alleged acts constitute impeachable offenses, including betrayal of public trust. So magkaiba po yung binabanggit natin na criminal liability at constitutional accountability. Hindi po lahat ng maaaring maging batayan ng impeachment ay kailangan tumutumbas sa isang krimen, sapagkat ang impeachment ay hindi naman po usapin lamang ng paglabag sa batas, kung hindi paglabag sa tiwalang ipinagkakaloob ng taong bayan. Ano pong masasabi niyo dito, Mr. Witness?
Your Honor, tama po yun. Doon po sa uling sinabi ninyo na hindi naman nangangahulugan kung may krimen na nangyari, ito ay impeachable offense. Pero ilagay po natin sa pangyayaring to, kaya naman po, yung pong investigasyon doon sa grave threat at doon po sa inciting to sedition, malinaw po ito na napapaloob sa revised penal code. Yun naman po pag-iimbestiga at paghahanap doon sa taong kinausap para pumatay, hindi po ito napapaloob sa revised penal code dahil yung pong pagpaplano ng pagpatay, hindi naman po pinaparusahan yan kung hindi nga nagawa. Subalit doon na po papasok yung sinasabi nga natin na meron pong sinasabi na sa impeachment, tinitingnan po at para sa akin nga, yung betrayal of public trust, dito po papasok. Bakit po? Dahil meron po siyang sinumpaang tungkulin. Doon po mismo sa kanyang oath of office bilang Vice President. Sinabi niya that protect and defend the Constitution, execute the laws, do justice to everyone, and consecrate herself to protect the nation. Pero doon po sa sinabing execute the laws. Dito po natin nakikita, hindi po execute the laws yung pag-usap ng papatay. That is to execute the president. Kaya doon po papasok yung magkaiba na betrayal of public trust.
Naintindihan ko po yung binabanggit nyo, yung role ninyo na limitado doon sa criminal investigation at yung findings po ninyo, hindi po, again, I think binabanggit nyo nga po, hindi po ibig sabihin ay impeachable offense kaagad-agad.
Tama po.
And again, that's why I'm putting into the records na this is not a criminal proceeding but an impeachment na proceeding. Last but not the least, no, dun sa binanggit po ninyo, there is a difference between saying that an individual has not yet been identified and saying also that no such individual exists. So, ang una, nangangahulugan na nagpapatuloy pa po yung Bureau sa pagberipika at pagbavalidate ng impormasyong mayroon ito. Sa ikalawa naman po ay isang konklusyon na matapos ang isang investigasyon. Director Matibag, maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag yung kahalagahan ng distinction na ito sa point of view of the NBI sa inyong pag-iimbestiga?
Doon na po natin dihiwalay.
Before the witness answers, kindly wind up after
Yes.
that question, Senator Judge Joel. Witness may answer?
Yes.
Doon nga po natin inihiwalay yung investigasyon na nangyari doon sa grave threat at inciting to sedition. Pumasok na po tayo doon sa pag-iimbestiga kung saan hinahanap natin yung kinausap. At bakit po tayo naniniwala na may kinausap? Sapagkat dun sa pronouncement po mismo ng Vice Presidente na may kinausap siya at pumayag. Ang naging basehan nga po dito, yung aking pong testimonya kanina na yung 5-point field po na pinagbabasihan ng National Threat Assessment Center na ginagamit po ng Secret Service po ng Amerika.
Okay po. Siguro hilingin ko na lang, Mr. Presiding Officer at sa ating witness, kung matapos po yung inyong ongoing at sinasabi niyo nga pong continuing investigation, ay ma-inform lang din po ang korteng ito. Maraming salamat, Your Honors, Mr. Presiding
Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva. Senator Judge Tulfo Rafi is recognized for his interjections and interventions. You have 2 minutes, sir, for your questions. You may proceed when you're ready.
Mr. Witness, are you familiar with the case of Ronel Mas?
Opo, napanood ko po yan.
At that time, hindi pa kayong NBA director or not connected to NBA whatsoever. So, tell us briefly dito sa kaso ni Ronel Mas.
Sa pagkaalala ko po rito, itong si Ronel Mas ay isang guro na kung saan siya ay nagsabi na kung sino ang papatay sa dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ay papabiyaan niya ng 50 million. At sa pagkakaalala ko po, ang National Bureau of Investigation rin po ang tumugis at tumuli sa kanya, particularly po ang aming pong opisina sa Region 1. At siya po ay kinasuhan po ng pagbabanta at itinuring po na ang threat niya isang malaking threat po. Hindi lamang sa dating Pangulo, kundi po sa ating pong national security.
In other words, pinalin siya ng case ng inciting to sedition. And he was arrested warrantless. It was a warrantless arrest, right?
Tama po.
Okay, so isang guro nagbanta sa dating Pangulo, agad-agad inaresto ng walang warrant. Now, itong yung VP Sara, si Vice President Sara Duterte, na nagbanta rin kay Pangulong Duterte at kay Pangulong Marcos. Anong difference ng dalawa?
Well, ang pagkakaiba po nila, itong si Rene Mas ay isang guro Si Vice President, isa naman pong Vice President. At siguro po ito ang naging konsiderasyon kung bakit hindi siya inaresto agad.
So ibig sabihin ng NBI pala ay tumitingin sa tinatawag na special treatment.
I cannot
So ibig
speak.
sabihin hindi pala patas sa NBI. Bakit
get-
nung panahon ni Pangulong Duterte, isang guro na nagsabi may patong sa ulo na 50 million si dating Pangulong Duterte, kung sino man makapagpapatay sa kanya, agad-agad inaresto ng walang warrant of arrest. And then ito naman si BP Sara na sabi nyo, allegedly nagbigay ng death threat against President Marcos at hindi inaresto.
I cannot speak for the NBI at that time, Your Honor, sapagkat yung mga pangyayari pong yan, wala naman ako sa NBI pa po. Subalit, ang ari ko pong ibahagi sa inyo, ipamarapatin po ninyo, ayun na nga pong aking pakikipagtalastasan sa aming pong mga foreign counterparts na akin din na pag-aralan at sinasabi nila na sa kanilang jurisdiction, kung merong isang pagbabanta na ginawa ng Vice Presidente, ay maaaring agad na ikulong at matanggal kaagad po sa pwesto. Pero again, respectfully, I cannot speak for the NBI noon po at saka yung pangyayari po noon po.
Okay, ano ibig sabihin po ni para sa inyo, Mayor Baste, nung sinabi niya sa isang Rage Coalition gathering, isang ulo lang naman ang kailangan namin at ang ulo ni BBM or Bongbong Marcos. What does it mean to you?
Well, kagaya po ng aking naging testimonya, itrinato po namin ito na isang threat sa isang banta sa ating Pangulo that transcends also to a threat to our national security.
So is it the same as saying may patong sa ulo ang isang tao, like a reward, whoever can capture this person, dead or alive or something to that effect?
It could be that way or it can be in many ways, pero ang sa amin po, ang namin naging interpretasyon nga dyan, isinama po namin ito sa maraming banta sa seguridad ng ating Pangulo at sa seguridad po ng ating
So again,
bansa.
kung tinuturing yung threat, itong salita na binitiwan ni Baste or Mayor Baste Duterte against President Bongbong Marcos, anong difference niyan dun sa binigay naman na threat ni yung teacher na si Ronel Mas kay dating Pangulong Duterte?
Yung pong naging banta ni Mayor Basti Duterte ay ipinasok po natin sa mas maaba pang pagsusuri, kaya po isinama natin ito po doon sa ating continuing threat assessment po.
So why was he not arrested? Tulad na nangyari sa teacher na si Ronel Mas.
Ang warrantless arrest po kasi, kagaya na nangyari kay Ronel Mas dahil naging warrantless of arrest, siya po ay na-dismiss ang kaso. So yan din po yung iniingatan namin na kung kami ay gagawa ng warrantless arrest, ay maaari pong ma-dismiss ang kaso. Ngayon po, kasama po yan sa case build-up namin na maaaring magdulot po ng pagpapile po ng nararapat po na kaso.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros is recognized. You may proceed, ma'am, when you're ready, and you have 2 minutes.
Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer. Mr. Witness, nung nakaraang hearing po, paulit-ulit na binabanggit ang pangalan ni Princess Maui. Sino po ba yung taong yan? Background po niya, profile po niya?
Sa pagkakalam ko, isa po siyang vlogger.
Ano pong background niya? Paano siya naging vlogger?
Well, base po dun sa patuloy na pagmamonitor, siya po ay isang kritiko na madalas nagbablog at nagpo-promote po ng yung pong tinatawag natin at alam naman ng lahat na DDS po.
I see. And ano po yung bukod doon na vlogger siya dun sa panig na iyon? Meron pa bang ibang profile itong Princess Maui bilang vlogger?
Katunayan po, I was informed that she or he was invited to the NBI pero hindi po siya dumalo. At yan po ay kasama rin po sa patuloy na sinusubaybayan po ng ating pong Cybercrime Division po.
Alright, salamat po. Ngayon, nabanggit rin po yung Oplan Romanov. Sabi po ni Attorney Lotok, ang alam niya ay banta ito sa presidente at pamilya nila na nagmula kay Mayor Sebastian Duterte. Sa kabilang banda, ayon naman kay Princess Maui, ay banta daw po yan sa buhay ni Vice Presidente at pamilyang Duterte. Pareho po ba yang iniimbestigahan ng NBI?
Ang alam ko po, na-cover na po ng NBI noon yung investigasyon dun sa aligasyon na yung Oplan Romanov ay banta sa Vice Presidente dahil nagpadala nga po ng subpoena kay Princess Maui at kay Vice President. Subalit, fortunately, hindi po yata sila dumali dyan. Pero nung yan po aming sinusuri din, yung binabanggit nyo po na Romanov, I think that was the January 18, 2024 na pahayag po ni Mayor Baste Duterte na kung saan na sinabi niya, let me tell you this, Mr. Bongbong Marcos, hindi ko lang po man yung exact words, but I remember that before you go to sleep, remember the Romanovs and the Mussolinis and what happened to the Marcos family in 1986. Yung po yung nakita natin na isa na naglilink po dyan sa Romanov. Kaya recently, narinig ko rin po yung dating director na sinasabi niya ng Oplan Romanov ay tunay na banta sa pamilya ng mga Marcoses at hindi po kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
So, base po sa investigasyon ng NBI, ang Oplan Romanov po ba ay banta nga sa buhay ng presidente o sa buhay ng vice-presidente?
Your Honor, yan po ay kasama pa rin sa aming tinutukoy po ngayon. Kaya po meron kaming task force, kasama po yan sa aming continuing na surveillance at active investigation po.
Alright. May actionable intelligence po ba ang NBI na posibleng patuloy pa rin ang panganib sa buhay ng presidente dun sa linyang iyon ng inyong investigasyon?
Tama po yan, sapagkat binanggit ko nga po kanina yung ginagamit sa National Threat Assessment Center po ng Secret Service ng Amerika, pumapasok po doon yung mga obserbasyon na yan. At katunayan po, lalo pang lumawig o lumawak yung mga banta sa presidente, namin pong namomonitor. Pati po mga ordinaryong tao ngayon, ay napakadali po na magbigay ng banta. At para sa amin po, hindi lang naman po yung banta sa ating Pangulo ang aming binabantayan, kundi yung pong bantayan natin ang kaligtasan ng ating mga kababayan at isiguraduhin natin na ang democratic process po ay umiiral sa atin base sa atin pong konstitusyon po.
At sa kabilang banda naman po, may actionable intelligence din po ba ang NBI na may totoong banta sa buhay naman ng vice-presidente?
Sa ngayon po, hindi po namin tinitingnan kung totoong may actionable intel. Pero base po sa aming mandato, kasama po sa mandato namin na proteksyonan po ang seguridad ng Pangulo, ng Vice Presidente, ng Senate President, ng Speaker of the House at Chief Justice. Kaya kung wala man pong task force, tuloy-tuloy naman po ang aming pong pagpamonitor dito.
Pero sa ngayon, kung isusuma po natin, may actionable intelligence na may patuloy na panganib sa buhay ng presidente, pero wala pang actionable intelligence na may banta din naman sa buhay ng vice-presidente.
Malinaw po yun sapagkat lumabas lang naman po yun doon sa sinasabi nitong si Princess Maui.
Salamat po, Mr. Witness. Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros. Next to interject and make his interventions would be our Senate President, Sherwin Gatchalian. He is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed when you're ready.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Tama po ba, Director Matibag, na after 1 year and 8 months, wala pang nakikita ang NBI na nakontratang papatay?
Wala po pong specific na personalidad.
Wala pang specific na nakikita.
Apo.
Pero kanina narinig ko sa inyong testimonya na may sinabi kayong hindi banta kundi isang plano talaga. So may plano.
Yun po ang base sa mismong pahayag ng ating pong Vice Presidente na siya ay may kinausap at yung kinausap niya ay pumayag para patayin po ang mga taong nabanggit. Para sa akin po, this is actually a public confession na dahil sa sinabi niyang ito, nalagay po sa alanganin hindi lamang po ang seguridad ng presidente kundi po ang ating pambansang seguridad.
Sino ang kaplano niya? Kung magpaplano, obviously may kasama siya sa pagpaplano. Sino na ang natukoy ng NBI na kasama sa pagpaplano?
Yan na po yung binabanggit namin na persons of interest based on the open source intel and the human intel po na ibinabato po sa amin, na yan po ay reported po sa atin ng ating pong task force na itinayo po.
Itong persons of interest kasama sa pagpaplano at inamin sa inyo na merong pagpaplanong ginagawa para pumatay.
Meron po silang impormasyon na magtuturo po dito sa pagpaplanong ito
Hindi
po.
sila yung kasama sa pagpaplanong pumatay.
Sa ngayon po, doon po,
Magtuturo lang sila.
doon po sa iba persons of interest, meron po kaming kinukonsidera doon na maaaring siya po ang kausap mismo ng Vice
And anong
Presidente.
ebidensya ang magpapatuloy na kasama siya sa pagpaplano o kaya niyang ituro yung pagpaplano?
Yan po ang ating kukunin na impormasyon pa sa ating pong mga persons of interest na ating pong sinusurveillance. Katunayan po, as we speak, tuloy-tuloy po yung ating pakikipag-usap. Pati po doon sa mga malalapit sa taong aking pong binabanggit.
Okay.
na
So
persons of
tuloy-tuloy pa
interest.
ngayon ang inyong investigation.
Tama po.
Ngayon, nakita ko na bumuo kayo ng task force. No? At task force, temporary in nature lang yan, di ba? Kailan matatapos ang inyong investigasyon? Dahil nga nasabi ko, 1 year and 8 months na ito. Ngayon, may bagong task force. So, kailan matatapos itong investigation?
Ito po ay matatapos finally pag atin pong na-locate specifically ang taong kausap ng Vice Presidente. At ito naman pong task force, bukod po sa seguridad ng Presidente, we are also guarding po na walang gulo, na yung pong mga destabilization ay atin din pong
Hindi, pero
mabantayan.
kailan matatapos yung investigation para matukoy kung sino yung nakontrata?
Only in the time po na atin pong matukoy na finally yung ating pong...
Kailan nga yun? Do you have a time
I can-
frame?
I cannot-
Base doon sa pag-uusap nyo dito sa persons of interest nyo. Kailan? Kasi, like I said, no, November of 2024 to, may bagong task force ngayon. But in your opinion, no, gusto ko kasi malaman, malapit na ba o malayo pa?
I cannot give the exact time, but the task force was established on April 16 and it's doing a great progress po. So sa palagay ko po, malapit na rin natin itong mahanap itong taong ating po
Can you give
tinutukoy.
me an explanation on yung great, quote-unquote, great progress?
Marami pong report na pumasok po sa atin at may mga pangalan po talaga na na-identify natin pong pinupuntahan po.
And can you give me a time frame kung within 3 months, 6 months, matutukoy na itong kakontrata?
As
Can
we
you
look
give me a
at
time frame? An indicative time frame?
as we go on to the progress, probably po within the 3 to 6 months magkakaroon po tayo
Magkakaroon-
mas malinaw po na data tungkol po dito.
But in 3 to 6 months, matutukoy na natin yung kakontrata.
Yun po ang ating inaasahan.
Okay. In the meantime, nasabi nyo kanina na merong kinetic force. No? Ito, ina-assume ko na may nai-impluwensyahan. Diba? Sino na ho ang nakausap nyo na na-impluwensyahan tungkol dito sa mga sinasabi ng Vice President at yung iba pa?
May mga ilan na po kaming pinuntahan at katunayan may ilan na po kaming sinampahan na rin ng mga kaso at yung pong mga nagbanta through social media ay atin na rin pong nakausap. At yung iba naman po ay sa ngayon ay kasalukuyang humaharap po sa investigasyon po.
So, last question. So itong dahil sa kanilang pananalita, nagkaroon ng kinetic force at na-influensyahan ito. At base sa inyong, paano niyo nasabi na influensyahan itong mga taong ito?
Kagaya po nung aming mga nakausap, malinaw din po that they're always targeting the head of the president. May correlate po natin doon sa statement mismo ng mayor at ng ating pong vice presidente po.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President. Will Senator Judge Allen make an interjection or will he make a manifestation regarding another matter?
Present what transpired during the investigation of the Special Task Force as to whether or not what probative value it holds. It is not part actually of the decision of the prosecution, as what we are intending to do here is to present only what happened during the investigation of the NBI, Your Honor.
Mr. Presiding Officer, the rules of evidence are very clear. You either present a witness who provides your testimony or you present a document. And in terms of documents, Rule 132, Section 19 says there are two classes of documents, public documents and private documents. Included in public documents are documents acknowledged before a notary public. Yung pinakitang document is not acknowledged by a notary public. Pwede naman din ang private documents, that's the other class. If it can be shown and authenticated in any of the following manner. The person saw the document executed or written. Nakita ba ng witness mo na sinulat yon? Nakita ba niya?
Your Honor, we can...
No, please answer my question.
No, Your Honor.
Oh, the next manner of authenticating by evidence of the genuineness of the signature or handwriting of the maker. The defense said ni walang original signature doon. Do you disagree with that?
We don't, Your Honor.
Okay, and the third, by other evidence showing its due execution and authenticity, did you provide?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so simple lang, Mr. Presiding Officer. They're trying to prove something by showing a document that any law student, even yung mga kababayan natin na nakikinig na ngayon na ang dami ng alam sa procedure, will tell you na hindi acceptable yon. And with all due respect, katulad din nung kahapon na humingi ako ng payo sa inyo, again, I will not name names, we had a discussion in caucus na you cannot unsee what you see. You cannot unhear what you hear. So pinalabas yun. Wala akong problema na palabasin yun, pero do your job and present the proper witness and the proper documentation to do that. Do your job. I'm addressing this, Mr. Presiding Officer, to us as a body. Kasi hindi tama yun. Magdidesisyon tayo, you warn us, pero pinabayaan natin na makita yun. Minamarkahan pa, submarkings. What's the purpose of all that?
May I respond, Your Honor?
Not really.
I don't believe
because
there
I
was a
already
question.
answered. I already asked you the questions and you had a chance to respond. Yes.
There was no question posed, sir. I was
There's none, yes.
telling the lead prosecutor.
I move to my next point, Mr. Presiding Officer. Our jurisprudence is very clear, no? A witness must be competent and credible. Di ko na babasahin lahat yung jurisprudence natin dyan dahil kompleto na yung record natin dyan. But there is also also included in our rules, Rule 132 on the rules of evidence, and I'll read it. A witness may be impeached by the party against whom he or she was called by contradictory evidence, by evidence that his or her general reputation for truth, honesty, or integrity is bad, or by evidence that he or she has made at other times statements inconsistent with his or her present testimony. So this is the rules, no? Siguro we can, well, I'm reading the rules, so we can take notice of this, that this is what our rules say, and I don't think anyone will contradict that. Again, there are lots of cases supporting this. So, just want to point out, Mr. President, that, just looking for my notes. Sorry, with the indulgences of the body, I'm just looking for my notes because I want to be accurate in my the next statement that I'm going to read into the record.
If the lady cannot locate it, she may avail of her time again tomorrow since Director Matibag and the counsel for the parties will
Pwede
be here
naman,
tomorrow.
but if you give me a few more seconds, I might be able to dispose of this issue, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer. Okay, I won't delay I can paraphrase it, but I think it would be best if I look at the record, so I will just avail. 'Cause
The
anyway,
presiding officer will give the
witness will be
lady
here.
first crack at interventions by Senator Judge tomorrow after the cross-examination of the counsel for respondent tomorrow. Since Director Matibag will be here again tomorrow for the continuation of the cross-examination by counsel for respondent, the interjections and interventions of the other senator judges may proceed. Again, after the cross-examination, redirect and recross if any. So the senator judges have time until tomorrow. Unless there are other matters that the counsel for the parties would want to discuss, the court will wind down with some administrative matters. Yes, counsel for respondent.
Your Honor, aside from the Las Cañas document, we would also like to request a copy of the AO number 11, just for reference, Your Honor, to be used as AO number 11.
The counsel, the prosecutor is directed to furnish within
We can do
the
that
day.
after the proceedings, sir.
Within the day after the proceedings, a copy of AO number 11 signed by Director Matibag, dated, if I'm not mistaken, April 16, 2026. Any other points you want to raise, lead prosecutor?
Your Honor, it appears that there is standing subpoena for
I will rule on that in a bit.
for
I will
Ms.
rule on that in a
Marivic
bit.
Pareja.
I will rule against who?
Ms. Marivic Pareja of Legislative Archive. We manifested yesterday, Your Honor, that we have yet to determine when we will be presenting this witness.
Yes, we
So
will act on these at the proper time. This will be part of the chair's ruling before we adjourn.
May I inquire, Your Honor, if tomorrow we will be able to conclude the testimony of witness Director Matibag, whether or not we will be proceeding to present the first witness for confidential fund, Your Honor.
The court will address that in a bit before we adjourn, counsel. Any other points, counsel for the respondent?
No more, Your Honor.
Court will now dispose of some administrative matters. We are in receipt of a request for subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Ms. Marivic Pareja, as well as subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Mr. Roderick C. Wamil and Ms. Eileen May Del Ocampo, both from the Commission on Audit. The chair, the presiding officer, defers action on these requests for subpoena and will act on them at the proper time and in due time. In regard to the subpoena ad testificandum and ducestecum issued to Ms. Violeta Constantino and Ms. Nenita Camposano, the chair in the meantime recalls the subpoenas issued to them without prejudice to reissuing the subpoena at a later time for a later date. Para po sa kaalaman, ang dalawang sinabpina ng Senadong ito bilang impeachment court na si Ginang o Binibining Violeta Constantino, Ginang o Binibining Nenita Camposano, hindi niyo po kailangan magpunta dito sa hukuman bukas. Binabawi pong pansamantala ng hukumang ito ang subpoenang in-issue para sa inyo at mag-i-issue na lamang po kami ng panibagong subpoena kung kailan po kayo kinakailangan magpunta o magtungo dito sa impeachment court sa Senado. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Zubiri?
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. Just want to ask a question. You are withdrawing the subpoena because you feel that we might not take them up tomorrow, is that
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
correct? Haba pa ba to kay witness Matibag? You mean we cannot take it up tomorrow?
I would think so. That was pursuant to a discussion with both counsel for the parties earlier.
So
Senator
we're
Judge
looking
Zubiri.
at taking up that article on Monday.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Also, in regard to the trial, The senator judges
SONA.
agreed.
Tuesday pala po.
I'm sorry.
Tuesday, sorry. Monday is the SONA. So
I will,
Tuesday.
I will discuss that too, Senator Judge Zubiri. During caucus, the senator judges agreed for next week there will be no trial on Monday, given that it's the State of the Nation of the President. There will be no trial on Tuesday to afford the minority the opportunity to prepare and deliver their contra sona, which is a tradition in relation to the State of the Nation address by the President. So our next trial date, for your information, which we will clarify on Wednesday, tomorrow, will be on July 29. Now, on July 29, again, as agreed in caucus by the senators and the senator judges, the new time of the trial will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the session of the Senate will be on or at 4 p.m. So, to repeat, no trial on July 27, Monday. No trial on July 28, that's a Tuesday. On Wednesday, our trial will resume July 29 at 10 a.m. up to 3 p.m. with a break, short break for lunch, snacks, or the call of nature for anyone. Henceforth, after that week in August, we will be conducting the trial from Monday to Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Counsel for the parties are asked to take note. So, to avoid confusion, Director Matibag, we expect you to come back and be here again tomorrow, not at 10 but at 2 p.m. To
Yes,
continue with your testimony via the cross-examination, redirect or recross of the counsel for the parties, and questions from the senator judges. Without issuing a subpoena, Director Matibag, do we get your commitment to be here tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor, gladly.
Thank you very much. There being no other matters to be taken up and no other business to take up, the trial is hereby adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, July 22 at 2 p.m. in the afternoon.